Hello, good evening. I'm Sean Pinchbeck. I'm the curator of this event and president of the Boreal Electro-acoustic Music Society, who's hosting this event. A few words about this evening before we get underway. Title is Together Apart, an Evening of Audio Wonderments. So when I was trying to think of a title for this event, or when I was curating the event, I was thinking about, how do we bring everyone together since we're all isolated and apart, and we're doing streamed events. And so I started thinking, well, maybe I should invite a few people to perform from different places and bring them all together on this event. And so then, people whose work that I really like, and normally we wouldn't be able to, fly them to Edmonton to do shows too easily. We'd have to, spring for a ton of cash and figure everything out logistically and this sort of thing. But with the way things are, we can put together events with people from all over the world. So so that was kind of my idea to bring us all together with tonight's program. So I'm broadcasting from the Koidu Seltsimaya in Viljandi, Estonia. This is the springtime home of the B.E.A.M.S Creative Arts Residency that we most years host. And I'm in the black box here. Of course, this year we didn't do it, but let's see what happens next year. But this is where I am, and our performers are scattered. We have, first up tonight is Moen from Edmonton, Chris Samsono. Moen, I guess it stands for Manifestations of an Infinite Nothingness. So abbreviation of the title of his band there, or his act. And so he'll be going first, doing about a 20-minute set live. So we'll be switching streams. So if after I'm done talking here, the stream will drop. I don't know if you might have to refresh your window, the Twitch window, so that it grabs the new stream when I switch connections from me to him. And likewise, when his stream finishes, perhaps I might have to refresh the window. I don't know. Just thought I'd give you a warning when we switch things from him to me. I'm not sure if you need to refresh. So just in case, I'm giving you that announcement. After him will be a piece by Joseph Hyde from Bath, UK. So Joe Hyde, he's a professor at Bath Spa University in, what is he a professor in? Well, he's an electroacoustic composer whose work I've known for a good 20 years, maybe. He has sent stuff to B.E.A.M.S before. He may not remember. I'm pretty sure 20 odd years ago, he sent a piece to one of the events I was doing in Edmonton back then. And he also hosts the curates or runs the Seeing Sound conference that runs in Bath Spa most years or every other year. And I believe he has an event coming December this year. That's going to be an online event, so you can check out Seeing Sound and keep your eye on that when it comes. And then after Joe is Post Horn, which is Raul Keller and Hello Upan, and they're from Estonia. So they're colleagues and friends, and I think Raul was even one of my students when I first came to Estonia 20 years ago. And so they have a project called Post Horn, and their piece is called Creative Monsters, aka Microdosing Sound. And so it's a live performance, and they recorded this performance, and then there's 16 millimeter film stuff. And then after post horn is Kay Burwash from Edmonton. The file said Project 11-15. I don't know if that's the title, but sure, why not? And then we'll finish things off with Murmur, who is Patrick McKinley. He's a sound artist and really into field recording and this kind of thing. And he runs the that radio show. Oh no, brain fart. Well, anyway, when we get around to it, I'll give a bit more details on that. But his piece is called Echo Surveys Newty, and this is a performance he did at his farmhouse that he just bought a few months ago, and they're renovating it. So you'll see the inside, the interior of the old 100-year-old farmhouse and its emptiness. And he did this sound performance. So so that's what we have lined up for you. And and Patrick or Murmur, he's here in Estonia, so he actually just lives a few kilometers down the road from me in the next village over. So he's one of the characters around town here who I've gotten to know better since I've been over here, and he just moved here recently from another part of Estonia. So a little feedback or a little insight there. So that's what we have lined up this evening. And I should definitely say thanks to B.E.A.M.S, the Alberta Media Arts Alliance Society. They are sponsoring this event and some of the future B.E.A.M.S events. And we really appreciate their support. And with all the crazy stuff going on, they were originally funding all going to help us fund the venues we were going to rent all year, and but now they're assisting in paying some of the artist fees in the next few events we have coming up, which I can fill you in for. So thank you very much, B.E.A.M.S, and I've been associated with B.E.A.M.S for a good long time, and they do a great job of advocating for media artists in Alberta. So thanks a lot, guys. Keep it up. So I think that is the housekeeping for what's coming up. So Moen is up, and I'm going to switch streams here, and his set's about 20 minutes. So enjoy that.
help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
And that was Moen. Thanks, Chris. So if you're just joining us, this is Together Apart, evening of electroacoustic and experimental and sound artworks of varying kinds. And yeah, this is a diverse evening. There's really a little bit of everything coming at you this evening. So if you're just joining us, that was Moen from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And up next is Joseph Hyde from Bath, UK. And so his piece, you're going to see, it's their pieces exploring analog sound synthesis, so some analog synthesizers, modular, and vintage stuff. And his piece is called Signal Studies 1 and 4. But also the graphics are, I believe, raster or vector graphics generated with analog picture tubes using probably vintage graphic screens that draw in vectors. That's my guess. I'll have to get them to clarify things for us one of these times. But so you'll see it's yeah, pretty interesting stuff. So I should stop talking about it and just hit play here. So Joe Hyde, Signal Studies 1 and 4. And that was Joe Hyde, Signal Studies 1 and 4. In the chat window, there's some speculation what was going on there. Spectrum bumped mapped onto a sphere? Could be. Pretty good guess, I think. So if you're just joining us, this is Together Apart, an evening of audio wonderments, hosted by B.E.A.M.S, the Boreal Electro-acoustic Music Society, based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And in this event, we have some international artists and Edmonton artists, as usual. So coming up next is Post Horn. So I mentioned they're a duo from Estonia here, based in Tallinn. And it's Raul Keller and Hello Upan. So you'll see this piece. It's the images are 16 millimeter film footage. Raul is an avid photographer and filmer, cinematographer, I guess, and he's a really busy sound artist and does sound installations, pirate radio broadcasts, various exhibits, and has many projects on the go at any one time. Hello Upan is a violinist and bass guitarist. She has her own project, Hello Kilu, which is duo punk band, and then her and Raul, they perform together and tour together as Post Horn, and probably under some other project names. Their performance is about 20 minutes, and so all the pieces, well, I think Joe's pieces were done just, in his regular activities and research as a professor and artist, but the other pieces were all made for this evening. So Hello and Raul were just going like crazy to get this piece together for this evening, and they're really busy with a family and stuff like that, and so I really appreciate them putting in the extra hours this week to put together the film footage and then the performance on top of that. And they were telling me the sort of, well, you'll hear the tone of the performance sort of reflects the hecticness of their lives. So let's get right to that. So this is Creative Monsters, aka Microdosing Sound by Post Horn. And that was Post Horn. Well, yes. There was lots of comments in the about the video. Well, it's film shot in film and stuff, and it's self-developed in the bathtub. All the film. Raul was a real experimenter with photography and film, so it's nice to see that work. So this is Together Apart, hosted by B.E.A.M.S, Boreal Electro-acoustic Music Society. And if you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in. We'd like to say as well that this event is sponsored by A.M.S, the Alberta Media Arts Alliance Society. the Alberta sort of advocacy organization for media arts in Alberta. And I'm Sean Pinchbeck, the curator of this evening. And if you're interested in more about B.E.A.M.S, we have a webpage, beams.ca, and a Facebook organization page. You can check out stuff there. If you're wondering about our next, when our next event is, we're trying to make things once a month for the next while. So next month on, what is it, December 12th, Dueling Axes 3. So this is put together by Chris Samsonow of Moen, who you saw first off this evening. And he's done a couple of these already where there's oscilloscopes, people perform, and the left and right channels are put into an oscilloscope software, and then you get visuals of the from the music. So so that's coming December 12th. So you can check our Facebook page and stuff like that for when that's going to be, and it'll be online streamed. And then we're taking submissions, I believe, still. So if you're interested in performing that, you could probably email info@beams.ca and or check out our Facebook events. I think there's an events thing there with the call for works. Maybe Chris will confirm in the chat that that's where you'll find the info. So that's coming up next month. So next we have Kay Burwash. So this is an Edmonton modular synth artist and proprietor of Listen Records on 124th Street in Edmonton. So some of us know him from that side of things too. So he's performed quite a bit at a number of B.E.A.M.S shows over the last few years, and has even curated some other Edmonton modular guys at our shows. So we enjoy his work. And so this is a piece he made this week for this event. And so it's kind of a change of gears again. I said this is a very diverse evening. And so this piece is just, well, you'll see, quite ambient, I think, is what you'd call it. I don't know, the file's named Project 11-15. Maybe this is when it was made. I don't know. Maybe Chris can fill us in on what it is. But I'm gonna let her rip here. And of course, if you want to become a B.E.A.M.S member, I'll just add that. Go to beams.ca, our webpage, and there's a link there if you want to support us. The money goes into artist fees, gear when we're doing live stuff, renting halls. It goes into the putting on events. So so support us. We try to do our best and make things happen. So. All right, here's Kay Burwash. And that was Kay Burwash. And I don't know if we actually got a title out of Chris for that. But thank you very much. I enjoyed that. That was a nice chilling time for a bit there. So we're getting down to the last performer here. Before I say that, talk about that, I just want to thank also Viljandi Tetrihov, who run this building I'm in right now. And they are letting me use the Black Box Theater this evening. And they kind of let me have the run of the building at the best of times. So I really want to put the word out to them. And this is where B.E.A.M.S runs our creative residency most Mays. This year, of course, we canceled it, but I hope, let's see, next year. And so this is a residency program for artists to come from, well, wherever they want to come from, but mostly from Alberta, and hang out here for 2 weeks and make some art. It's an amazing building. They rescued it from certain demise, and now it's a really active arts center in Viljandi. And there's a huge theater, black box, jazz club, and big gallery space. So lots of cool stuff going on around here, although it's not well heated. So now in the winter months, it's slowing down for sure. But I'm Sean Pinchbeck, president of B.E.A.M.S and curator of this event. And we have one last act, Murmur, Echo Surveys Newty. So Patrick McKinley is Murmur, and he's a sound artist and field recording artist based here in Estonia. He was in the southeastern corner of Estonia for quite a few years, and now he's based in Viljandi, or just outside of Viljandi. And so this piece he made for us for this evening. He spent a good part of a week, if not more, planning and putting together the piece. So I really appreciate him putting the time and shooting the video of this work. Of course, many of these pieces are videoed because of the time difference. Just wasn't practical for people to be performing in the middle of the night. So they put together videos. And so this video, it's of their 100-year-old Estonian farmhouse that they're just renovating. And so it's just gutted now, and so he could do a performance in the space. And so that's what we got coming up for you. And just to mention, Patrick McKinley, he also runs Framework Radio. That's what I was trying to remember at the beginning of the show, which is a really interesting and cool radio program that I forget how often there's new pieces, maybe every week. And it's hosted at campus stations in quite a few places. So check out his webpage, frameworkradio.net, I think it is. All right, so here we go with our last but not least artist, Murmur. That was Murmur from here in Viljandi, Estonia. And his piece done in his farmhouse with much of the stuff he just found lying around the worksite as they're renovating there. Check out frameworkradio.net. That's his big project he does regularly, and there's tons of really interesting sound art from around the world there. And that completes our evening here, or morning in my case, 7:26 a.m. here. Thanks so much for tuning in, and huge thanks to the artists for creating the pieces for this evening. Many of them made specifically for this event. So thanks so much to the artists for putting the time in and making videos, which is way more work than just showing up at a venue and just performing. So really appreciate that. And our next B.E.A.M.S event is Dueling Axes 3 on December the 12th, I believe. I'll just double check. Yes. And I think Chris can correct me on this. I think there's still spots available to perform on that event. If you're interested in signing up, info@beams.ca. It's a streamed event, so you could be wherever you are and stream in to be part of the event. There's a Facebook event for that, and so you can get more info about that on Facebook or email info@beams.ca. If you want to drop me a line, I'm Sean, SHAWN, @beams.ca. If you just want to say hi or whatever. And thanks to all the listeners. Thanks for staying, with us for the whole evening. We've had a good, solid number of people viewing the stream, which is great. I'm glad you stuck it out and checked out everything that we put together this evening. And so thanks so much. And if you want to support B.E.A.M.S, go to beams.ca and buy a membership. And tune into our next event, December 12th. Check that one out. Should be interesting. And of course, in January, Art's birthday. We're taking submissions for that as well. That will be January. What is that one? January 16th, I believe, is Art's birthday. And that will be, again, a streamed event. So send something in for that. And we'll see you the next time. So you can see I put my vest on because it's cold in here. So see you all next time. I'll leave the chat running for a minute so people can have a chit chat for a little bit there. But thanks and good evening. Oh, and one last thing. Thank you to B.E.A.M.S once again for sponsoring the event.